I'm going to tell you some things that the Lord has put on my heart in prayer, things that I got even last night at church. And so I'm just going to start off and just go for it. Okay. In my prayer time, the Lord has been talking to me about the camels are coming. And he's talking to me about the wealth transfer. And he said, Brandon, it's going to come on suddenly and quickly. So I want to encourage you all, if you are listening to the voice of the Lord, if you're a tither, you're a giver, and you've been believing for a supernatural harvest for finances, I'm telling you, the rain is coming. I keep hearing that too when I'm praying. I hear the sound in the spirit realm of an abundance of rain. There is an abundance, not just a little trickle. I'm talking about a toad strangling rain is coming for a transfer of wealth for the wicked is going to be laid up for the righteous. And I'm telling you all, it was so strong last night when I was praying. The Lord had me interceding for this wealth transfer. And I'm not, like I said, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm telling you all this. You need to seek the Lord for yourself. But I'm telling you, it's going to come through certain cryptos. And it's going to come, that's what I hear. And maybe it'll be through something for you for something else, okay? But I'm telling you, I keep seeing XRP. And like I said, I'm not telling you to invest in it. That's on you. Do not say, hey, you told me to invest in that. No, I'm telling you, there's going to be something in my spirit, in my opinion, with XRP in the near future. And I keep seeing it go overnight. It's like right now, I think it was like 47 cents per XRP. And all of a sudden, I am hearing in my spirit there's going to be an acceleration of things. There's acceleration coming, and I'm telling you, it's speeding up. Something is about to happen in the natural. Now, it could be a year from now, it could be 2 years from now. I don't know, but because when you're looking in the spirit again, the time frame when you're trying to decipher in the natural in your flesh what you're seeing, it feels like it's right there, like it's today. But in the spirit realm, a day is 1,000 years to the Lord. So you have to just know this is something that is brewing. It's happening, and we're praying over it. It's something I'm praying over. But I hear the sound of an abundance of rain. Do you hear what I'm talking? What I'm saying? Do you hear what I'm saying? I hear the sound of an abundance of rain. And God is about to pour out something huge for the body of Christ. And I believe it will. The manifestation of the finances will come before the manifestation of the glory to help fund it. It will help bring in the land or the TV time or whatever ministry you're supporting, whatever the Lord tells you to do with it to help out with those ministries. This is going to happen before it, and I believe we're going to see it sooner than later.
Hey guys, it's Ash. I've been wanting to make this video for a while now because I wanted to kind of summarize and review in one video all the prophetic words and the prophetic revelation that God has given me concerning the cryptocurrency XRP. And some of you might know my journey, some of you might not, but it started about a year ago. God put it on my heart to investigate and to start looking into digital assets and cryptocurrencies. So as part of that journey, I was driving with my wife in the car one day and I said, Rach, can you please pray whether cryptocurrency is a good investment? Because I felt like God was telling me to start to invest into digital assets. And so she went away and she prayed, and she knows nothing about cryptocurrency, blockchain, Bitcoin, any of that kind of stuff. So she came away and she's like, yeah, I really heard God clearly. And God said investing in cryptocurrency is a good investment. So I was like, okay, that's really interesting. And for me, it was a wonderful confirmation. So I went away and I started to pray about it more. I started this digital asset. So that really piqued my interest. So I started to pray about it. And one of the first words that God gave me a good number of months now about XRP is I was taken in a vision and I saw a bowling alley. And I saw the different rounds leading up to the end of the game. And I saw people bowling, and someone would bowl on round 1 and they'd knock 4 pins down. And then someone would bowl round 2 and they'd knock 5 pins down. And then someone would bowl, let's say, round 6 and they'd knock 7 pins down. And in the vision, I knew that represented different cryptocurrencies that would have a 4, 5, 6, 7, 8-fold return. That if you invest in these companies and these assets, you'd likely get a return around about that number. Now, I don't know if God was being very specific or it was just the imagery that he was speaking to me through. Well, anyway, so to me, that was a confirmation that the Lord was highlighting to me the exponential return of investing in XRP now. Now, interestingly, these X's were right at the end of the game. And I felt like God was signifying that these cryptos would not be the ones to move first. They would be the ones to move last, but the ones that move last will give you the greatest return. And I thought that was really interesting. And then I was praying about XRP and cryptocurrency and the future of the economy and all of these kind of stuff. And then I had another vision, and this was maybe a month or 2 months later. And in this vision, I saw oil barrels, and on the name on the oil barrels was XRP. And in the vision, I was drawn to the cap, to the lid on the barrel, and I saw that it was sealed shut. You know, it was yet to be utilized, it was yet to be poured out. And then while I'm watching this, I saw a hand come, take the lid, take the cap off the barrel, and then the barrel tipped and all the oil started to flow out. Now, there could be various different, interpretations, but one of my interpretations is that the oil in the barrel, the XRP represented liquidity, and that liquidity was largely sealed away, sealed shut, and was yet to be poured out and was yet to be utilized. And I felt like there was a time coming when the lid would be lifted off of XRP and its true value would start to be poured out, and its true use case and utility would start to be adopted. And when that happens, it's going to start to flow. So that was quite an interesting encounter that I had with the Lord. And actually, what I thought was really interesting is a few months later, after I had this word, this vision, I believe it was India and the UAE conducted its very first oil trade using the XRP ledger. So the very first oil trade outside the US dollar, outside the SWIFT system, was done on the XRP ledger. And I thought that was quite interesting. And in amongst all this activity and words and research and hearing from the Lord, I started to learn a lot more about the BRICS nations, how the BRICS are coming together to create their own currency for cross-border payments and transactions and trade, and that they'll be using distributive ledger technology. They'll be using blockchain technology to conduct their financial transactions. There's buzz out there, there's talk out there that they'll be using XRP or the XRP ledger. And so a lot of stuff going on. What else? Oh yeah, this I believe is really, really important. And if you've made it through this far in the video, I pray that this blesses you. But the Lord started to speak to me and he said, study the dot-com bubble, study the dot-com bust. Now, the dot-com bubble was the emergence of all the new internet startup companies in the early 2000s. And, there was a big rally. The internet was blowing up. The internet companies were starting up left, right, and center. Investors were throwing tons of money into all these internet companies, and their value was greatly expanding, and a lot of these companies were overvalued. And in the early 2000s, a big crash came, and a lot of these internet companies, a lot of these startup companies went bust and they went to zero. And people knew that the internet was the future, was the next evolution in technology that would revolutionize the world, and investors were excited. But a lot of people lost money, and a lot of companies went bust, and they got bankrupt and they went to zero. And I felt like God was showing me that the same thing is going to happen in the crypto space. I believe that there is a bust coming. There's an economic trial coming. There's something coming that is going to be a massive bust, similar to the dot-com bubble. And I think there are going to be a bunch of cryptocurrencies that go to zero. I think a lot of meme coins are going to go to zero. And I think there's even, long-term, long-standing crypto companies and assets that have been around for a long time that might not ever recover. But I think a handful will recover and a handful will go on to do very well. And I think one of those is XRP. Out of the dot-com bust came the Microsofts, the Apples, the Googles, the Facebooks, the Amazons, the Teslas, all of this kind of stuff. Maybe not so much Tesla, that came later, but you get my point. Is these companies have huge market caps, and if you invested in the early days, you would be very wealthy right now. The same as Nvidia. Nvidia relied on the emergence of computer components and parts and graphics cards, and the internet went from computers went from being used in office blocks and buildings to being in every domestic home around the world. And anyway, with AI and everything else, Nvidia has skyrocketed in value, and I think there will be some digital assets like XRP that skyrocket in value as they're adopted and used and all of that kind of stuff. So it's really important that we're aware of the dot-com bubble. Something else that the Lord spoke to me was, he told me to study Coca-Cola. And I know that sounds crazy, but he's like, Ashley, go and study Coca-Cola. Go and look at the history of Coca-Cola, because there is a key there. There is insight into the history of Coca-Cola, which will be similar to what happens to Ripple, which will be similar to what happens to XRP. So anyway, I went and I studied the history of Coca-Cola. And what I didn't realize is that Coca-Cola blew up. Coca-Cola went global during a global crisis, during a world crisis. And that crisis was World War II. And actually a global crisis in a time where people were, where there's food shortages, people were food rationing, the economy was broken, governments were way overspent and in debt, and there was a world war taking place. Coca-Cola went global, and it was this crisis that expanded the company around the world. And I felt like what God was showing me and what God was revealing to me is that there is a global economic crisis or something similar. Maybe it's a world war, maybe it's a global economic crisis But whatever crisis it is, this crisis is actually going to propel XRP around the world, and I believe its adoption will go global. And so that's quite interesting. So for me, that was a wonderful confirmation from the Lord that actually investing in XRP long term is, for me, a good investment. Now, of course, you need to pray, you need to do your own due diligence, you need to study, you need to consult a financial advisor. I'm not telling you to invest in XRP. I'm just sharing my story and what God has spoken to me about cryptocurrencies, digital assets, and XRP. And maybe you can use this information to make your own choices, but please do pray and speak to other people about it.
So the Lord showed me three things. So he showed me the price of XRP. That would be the price that XRP will be. And I also was shown the environment that this will unfold, or rather, shall we say, the way things will be during that time. So that night, while I was praying about all these things, I saw many things at night. And this was one of those visions where it's like you're sleeping, but you're not quite sleeping, but you're in a vision. It's a little bit like a trance, but it's not quite a trance. It's more of a vision, but not quite a dream, because you're in between sleeping, but the Lord is speaking to you. And sometimes I will, how do you say it? I will move into the realm of hearing him, and then other times I'll move into the realm of seeing things. So it's like he's showing me things, and sometimes I will be taken to a place where I am hearing things, okay? So I just want to give you a bit of a background of the way this prophetic word came to me, all right? Just so you have an understanding. The best way for me to do it is to give you the setting and then give you what the Lord said. No matter how silly or how confusing or how random it sounds, it's better if I just give it to you, and then you can go away and weigh these things up and see if this indeed is a word from the Lord, okay? So, right. So now, that night, I was shown the exchange platform, where the exchange that I use to set my sell and buy orders. Okay, so I saw a vision of that platform, and then in that platform, I was shown the price of XRP, and the price that I saw is 25000. So that's 25,000. Now, when I saw that, I'll be honest. Coming out of that experience, I think I came out thinking it was £25,000. I'm not sure, but I'll be honest with you. Between then and now, I'm not sure if it was pounds or USDT or USDC or USDT. I'm not sure. And as a matter of fact, the fact that I saw the vision was showing me in an exchange platform makes me to lean towards believing that it was actually a stable coin price, because yeah, I don't know, okay? So I've just told you the price that I saw, and I've just explained to you how I'm not so sure if which currency or which crypto, USDT or USDC or pound or sterling, I'm not sure. But anyway, as soon as I saw that, and I was marveling at the figure that I was looking at, the money figure, the 25,000 that I was looking at, while my heart was almost in a state of disbelief, like, wow, really? Immediately, I was taken into another vision and or another place, and in this place, I heard the voice of, I heard poverty, and I saw poverty, and I was being told and shown that it's going to be, the way I got it is, it's going to be a level of poverty unlike what we've seen before. I can feel, if I just close my eyes and zoom in, I can go back into that place. It was a real, I was really shown something. And if I focus, I can go straight back into that place. So these things are true. Anyone who's, you that's watching, my subscribers and my viewers watching this video, you need to, as you take the price of XRP and as you prepare for things to, I really feel it. As you prepare for things to get well for you, you need to prepare that there's going to be a level of poverty unlike we've ever seen before. Yeah. And I do wish that you didn't switch off as soon as you heard the price of it, you didn't switch off and missed this part of the video, because this is probably the more important part of the video. Yeah, I saw poverty, and I heard it will be like it was unlike what we know. Learn now what it means to be a true Joseph that will help during a time of need. And I had a feeling that it was a global thing, you know.
If God is speaking to me about these things, then I think it is very important that I also get it out, because it might just be that particular voice that somebody needs to get to be convinced in order to get involved or get position, or perhaps it might be that voice that introduces somebody into it, somebody that God really wants the person to get involved, and so that is why I'm doing this video today. God has been speaking to me through dreams and through direct words concerning the industry, and particularly concerning XRP. And I've been spending time to pray about the industry and all of that. And some months back, I got a word from the Lord. One of those things that I got from the Lord is that on this day I just finished praying, which was a couple of months back, and I was about falling asleep. That's between that period where you're about falling asleep and you're a little bit awake. And I heard the words that XRP is going to hit $3,000. Now, I know that there are other prophets that are saying amounts that are less and amounts that are higher. By the way, at the time I heard it, XRP was around 2 cents, and right now it's about $1. So I believe that there's still much time for anyone to get on board. And like I was saying, there are a couple of prophets that are saying more or less. Some talking about 10,000, some talking about 100,000, and all of that. But for the sake of this video, I'm sticking to what God said to me. Remember, I'm only accountable for what I hear. I know what another person hears, and I'm not saying that God didn't tell me that 3,000 was going to be the limit, and God didn't tell me when this was going to happen. I just heard that, and that was it. In that ring, that the two people I saw fighting in the ring was actually Ripple and the SEC, and that at the end of the day, Ripple is going to have that last move. Now, at the time when I saw this, the situation was not even as it is right now, because at the time, almost everyone was saying that the case is not going to go Ripple's way, because the SEC is a very powerful institution, federal institution in the United States, and most of the companies that it comes against with lawsuits are either crushed or perhaps they end up having a slap on the wrist and they are fine. And most of the times, business after facing the SEC is always a downtrend. Now, this brings me to another part of what God showed me. And God was explaining to me a couple of months back that what we are seeing as the case between the SEC and Ripple Labs is actually smokescreen by the global elite, and the purpose is to prevent the average income earner, the middle class income earner, particularly United States, from being able to accumulate XRP. When we look at the case, certain things have happened. First of all, the price of XRP had to shrink a lot, and it has stayed within a very tight range. This alone has caused a lot of average income earners, who are mostly those who don't have sound financial understanding or investment understanding, have less access to trivial information. It has caused them to be afraid. It has caused fear and panic, and most of them have sold, if not sold, at least if not sold all of their cryptocurrency, of their XRP holdings, at least a huge part of it. And apart from that, it also caused a lot of exchanges to delist XRP. And in delisting XRP, what has happened is that it has become much more difficult for the average person to access it, because you have major exchanges like Coinbase. They've all delisted, and so it makes it difficult for the average person to have access to XRP. But for those who are actually tech savvy, cryptocurrency savvy, and all that, what this case is also achieving as a smokescreen is the fact that the attention of a lot of people has shifted. The attention of so many people are shifted towards what is happening in the courtrooms, whereas XRP is taking over, is really taking over. In subsequent videos, I'm going to be bringing a couple of information which I've come across that is not based on what God said to me, but there are much more confirmations of what God said to me about where XRP is going. Because XRP is going to be some sort of a global, I'm not going to say global currency, because God hasn't really spoken to me about that, but it's going to be much more like a global system of settling payments, okay, and that is worth trillions upon trillions of dollars, and even in the realms of quadrillions of dollars. It's my personal belief that we are about to see the end of this case, and when this occurs, I believe that XRP is going to come out victorious, and there's going to be an explosion in the value of XRP. A single XRP sits at about $1 right now, and the Lord told me that it's going to hit 3,000. What time frame, I don't know. Therefore, there is still a lot of room for it to grow, and enough time for anyone to position himself in order to be part of this move, part of this world transfer. Now, whatever information I'm giving out, I'm not offering financial advice or investment advice, because I'm not a qualified person for that. Nevertheless, whatever I'm giving out.
Okay, guys, so in April, I just slept. This was on a Saturday. I will put the exact date for you guys to like look it up. It was on a Saturday, like Friday breaking Saturday morning. So on this day, I was like just so tired because I had a lot of stuff to do, and I was like, well, let me just rest and sleep in. So when I woke up in the morning, I spent a little bit of time with the Lord, and I was like, you know what, let me just take a little bit, like take a nap. But by this nap, it's like in the morning. And then I had this dream, which was in quotes weird. So this is how it went. I saw myself looking at a screen in that dream, and it looked like a chart. Now, you know, like there are many types of charts and different kinds of graphs. You know, generally in mathematics, they'll tell you that there's like the y-axis and the x-axis, right? So I saw a chart which was like an L-shaped. So I saw many lines on it. Now, because I was pretty new to crypto then, or pretty new to whatever I was saying, I didn't really know what it was, how and why it was that way. Unlike having just one line, it had so many lines, multiple lines on, you know, displayed on that X and Y axis on that graph or the chart that I was looking at. So as I was looking at this chart, I saw so many lines. Now on the top right of this chart, I saw that there was a long number. The number was so long that I did not memorize it. Let's give an example that this is an example, not what I saw. Let's say it was like a 0.123456789. That's how long it was, but it was longer than that. So it was so long. And that's the top right. Like I said, the chart is L-shaped, and then there were like writings and many drawings on the lines on it. So on the top right of that chart, I could see the numbers like 0.1234, like very long. Like I said, it's just an example. I'm not saying that's the exact number or the exact numbers that I saw. And suddenly I saw a black flame. I saw something that was in the exact shape of a flame. You know, regularly a flame is like orange or bluish kind of, but this flame was black and it was white. And this flame started wiping, all these numbers. It was wiping this long number that I'd seen and wiping it and coming down. So like I said, like the example that I was giving you, let's say it was 0.1234567 up to 9. It started wiping from 9, 8, 7, 6, 5 and coming down to 4. And, you know, it just kept wiping it. Now my eyes were zoomed in, and I realized that the flame that was wiping it was black and white. And what was written on the flame was XRP. Mind you, before then, I'd known nothing about XRP before. I've never heard about XRP because I was not even, but before then, I knew nothing about crypto except for Bitcoin and Shiba that I heard of. So when I saw XRP, like I said, my eyes zoomed in there and I saw XRP, and I saw this XRP flame that was black and white, you know, like wiping the numbers down. Now, at the bottom of the chart that had so many numbers, I noticed that there was a 1, there was a comma, and then there was a 000, and then there were some others like long numbers at the end. But the funny thing is that this number that was after that one was spinning so fast, I couldn't read it. Let me just give an example. You know, like there are some games that you play, or like a pinball or something, where you spin the thing, the numbers like spin so fast. It was something like that. The numbers were changing rapidly. I couldn't read everything. But what I saw exactly was there was a 1, there was a comma, and then there was a 000, and then there were some other numbers that, you know, continued. Like I said, it was spinning and I couldn't read everything. Now, fast forward, I noticed that there was like a red ink or like a pen or like a bowl marker kind of pen came and crossed or X'd out that 1 that I saw at the beginning. So when the 1 X'd out, I noticed that the 1 was X'd out with the red ink, and then a 2 was written above that 1. Now, with what I'm explaining, maybe if God gives me the grace, I'm not an artist in any way, shape or form, I'll probably, you know, maybe draw it or write it on a different sheet of paper and then take a picture, and I may insert it in this video editing. So the 1 was X'd out with the red ink, and then a 2 was written above. So this number automatically became a 2,000, and then other numbers that, like I said, it was spinning. I couldn't read all of that. And then I woke up from that dream. Now, like I said, this was in April of 2022. Now, I don't know anything about XRP, nothing. I'm like, what is XRP? So this made me go on Google, because I'd never had any dream like that or like this prior to that. So when I went on Google, I checked what XRP is. They said it's a cryptocurrency, blah, blah, blah. And this made me kind of inquisitive. And come to find out, XRP has the color, or the color of XRP is black and white, just like the flame that I saw wiping or like swirling. So I was like, wow, this was like, you know, I was like, wow. And I started reading about XRP and stuff like that. And I noticed that then they had some issues with SEC and stuff like that. And I was like, wow. That's when I started reading more and more and more and more. At the time when I had this dream, XRP, there was no conclusion with the court case that XRP had at that time. And when I looked up the price of XRP, it was at 0.46 something or 0.5 something, like it kept going back and forth around the April of 2023. So I was like, wow, that means that if I saw something from the 0, now this is my analysis, I may be wrong, but if I saw something prior, the number that I saw at the top was 0.123 something was going forward, and then later on there were so many lines on that chart, and then at the bottom I saw 1000, then some other numbers, and then the 1 was X'd out, and then I saw 2000, you know, like 2,000. Now it wasn't a 1 point or 2 point something, it was like 1,000. You know, like generally some people when they want to write like 1,000 or something, especially like in an African setting, they always write a 1 and then they put a comma and put like 3 zeros and stuff like that. So this looked like 1,000, and then the 1,000 was X'd out, and then it was a 2,000, excuse me, and then there were some numbers. Now, I don't know if this was like showing me that it was going to be 2,000, and then those like the numbers at the end rather spinning. I don't know if the number spinning at the end was more like maybe like those little extra numbers that just the few cents that go back and forth when you're looking at a live chat. That I do not know, but this is just what I saw, and this is what I shared with you. And when I saw this, I was like, oh, to get XRP, it's a good, like a good actual opportunity to kind of invest in that crypto. This is what I saw, and that is what I thought. Now, this is not financial advice. I'm not a financial guru. I'm not a wealth analyst or whatsoever. I'm just sharing with you what the Lord shared with me, or what he told me from my dreams. The Bible says I should test all spirits. I'm not here to impose what I saw with you or on you. I'm just sharing what the Lord told me. I want you to do your research, and this is not financial advice, and go ahead and pray.
On October 11th, 2022, I was visiting family far away and sleeping in the basement of my grandpa's house, which is really rare. I had an intense night of vivid spiritual dreams, being shown all these little dioramas and displays showing that there was going to be an awakening and quickening of God's people. I was just staring off in the dark and laying there and going over them, and then I had an open vision. White, sparkly letters and numbers flash right in front of me, and it was XRP at the top, and then underneath was a $sign with 5 digits, but the first digit was fuzzy. I couldn't really make that out, but I saw that it was in the 5 digits, just really big, like showing me that XRP was going to be really big. XRP was not anything that's been on my mind. I haven't been thinking about it, researching it, and so that's what really stood out to me even more with this vision, that I don't get those very often, and it was something that wasn't on my mind at all, so I just thought I would share that with you guys.
Then on early this morning, because I felt like the Lord wanted me to release this word, but I just wanted more confirmation. Sometimes I do that before I get on these lives. I want more confirmation from the Lord. So last night I was praying to God, and I was like, Lord, you really want me to say, buy XRP and gold? Is this what you want me to tell people? Like, I'll do it if this is what you want me to do, but I just want to make sure that I'm relaying the message accurately. So this morning, the Lord gave me a dream, and I was in some type of building, and I was riding a bicycle, and I see another brother in Christ riding a bicycle, and he's coming towards me, and I'm shouting XRP very loud, and he's listening to what I'm saying, right? I'm shouting XRP very loud. And when I wake up, I heard the Lord say, listen to what I'm saying. And then I heard buy XRP. And then I heard, I don't know what this word means. I heard Bangalore and all the earth in a day. And then in the middle of the night, it's another vision I saw. I saw XRP in all caps, very big, XRP. And then I saw a YouTube thumbnail of a woman, and on the thumbnail it says secrets to wealth. And then I heard the Lord say, wealth and riches shall be in your house.
This video is not for everybody. Just, a little caveat. Everyone is not a believer in Jesus Christ who follows XRP. But however, I want to answer the question, or entertain the thought that, has God spoken about XRP? Is there a message? Is God trying to give out a message about XRP for this transformation of wealth to the righteous, right? Well, anyone, whatever you believe in, if you have XRP, nothing can stop you from buying it. But is there something on God's agenda to make sure XRP is getting into the hands of his followers, of the ones that he wants to have it, right? Well, people, the facts are just the facts, okay? I want you to listen to this video. A lot of you've probably already seen this already, but this man, he goes by the name of Brandon Briggs. Brandon Briggs. He was on a show. There's a show of people who consider themselves prophets. They were talking about the eclipse. This was 3 months ago. And in this show, and while this man was speaking, he described exactly what happened to Trump. He prophesied out of his own mouth what would happen to Donald Trump. Okay. And so this very same man made some statements that he believed God gave him about XRP. And so we're going to listen to both statements. Of course, I'm going to give you my take. Let's go ahead. Let's get into it right now. I'm going to let you listen to the first thing he said about Donald Trump. Check it out.
Throughout, and I saw Trump rising up, and then I saw an attempt on his life. This bullet flew by his ear, and it came so close to his head that it busted his eardrum. And I saw he fell to his knees during this time frame, and he started worshiping the Lord. He got radically born again during this time frame. I'm talking, people say he's saved now, but he becomes really on fire for Jesus, for what I saw coming. And then I saw people interceding I saw him winning the presidency through great. The Lord showed me it would go clear into the summer. Great persecution would come on him through the judges and through the law and all these people trying to sue him and all this stuff. But there would be a stop to it, and things would start to break free, come toward the fall. And then I saw him winning the election through the Patriots coming out and voting. And then there will be a great economy crash. Yeah. I saw they had a great economy plan, a crash, worse than the Great Depression.
Now, when you consider that, people, this man not only talked about Trump, he talked about the crashing economy, right? These things are believable. Now, if you are a person of the word, if you're a person that reads the Bible, you must understand Deuteronomy 18:22 tells us how to know if a prophet is of God or not. It's very simple, because a lot of people walking around here calling themselves prophets and they ain't prophets, right? So how do we know? It's very simple. If the word says, I'm putting it on the screen here, but I'm paraphrasing. If a man speaks of speaks a prophecy and what he speaks does not come to pass, then you need not be afraid of him, right? So the opposite is inferred. If a man speaks of the Lord and what he speaks does come to pass, right? Then you should be afraid of him. And what does that mean? It means respect what he's saying. That's what it means. Take what this person is saying seriously. That's what that means. Because this man prophesied this 3 months ago, so specifically, so in detail, it makes sense to me to take what this man says seriously. Well, this same man had some statements about XRP that he just made on July 1st, right? So let's take a listen to exactly what he says, what he believes that he saw in the vision when it comes to XRP.
Good morning, family. How are y'all doing? I'm going to tell you some things that the Lord has put on my heart in prayer, things that I got even last night at church. And so I'm just going to start off and just go for it. Okay. In my prayer time, the Lord has been talking to me about the camels are coming. And he's talking to me about the wealth transfer. And he said, Brandon, it's going to come on suddenly and quickly. So I want to encourage you all, if you are listening to the voice of the Lord, if you're a tither, you're a giver, and you've been believing for a supernatural harvest for finances, I'm telling you, the rain is coming. I keep hearing that too when I'm praying. I hear the sound in the spirit realm of an abundance of rain. There is an abundance, not just a little trickle. I'm talking about a toad strangling rain is coming for a transfer of wealth for the wicked is going to be laid up for the righteous. And I'm telling you all, it was so strong last night when I was praying. The Lord had me interceding for this wealth transfer, and I'm not, like I said, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm telling you all this. You need to seek the Lord for yourself, but I'm telling you, it's going to come through certain cryptos, and it's going to come. That's what I'm hearing, and maybe it'll be through something for you for something else. Okay, but I'm telling you, I keep seeing XRP, and like I said, I'm not telling you to invest in it. That's on you. Do not say, hey, you told me to invest in it. No, I'm telling you, there's going to be something in my spirit, in my opinion, with XRP in the near future. And I keep seeing it go overnight. It's like right now, I think it was like 47 cents per XRP. And all of a sudden, I am hearing in my spirit there's going to be an acceleration of things. There's acceleration coming, and I'm telling you, it's speeding up. Something is about to happen in the natural. Now, it could be a year from now, it could be 2 years from now. I don't know, but because when you're looking in the spirit again, the time frame when you're trying to decipher in the natural in your flesh what you're seeing, it feels like it's right there, like it's today. But in the spirit realm, a day is 1,000 years to the Lord. So you have to just know this is something that is brewing. It's happening, and we're praying over it. It's something I'm praying over. But I hear the sound of an abundance of rain. Do you hear what I'm talking? What I'm saying? Do you hear what I'm saying? I hear the sound of an abundance of rain. And God is about to pour out something huge for the body of Christ. And I believe it will. The manifestation of the finances will come before the manifestation of the glory to help fund it. It will help bring in the land or the TV time or whatever ministry you're supporting, whatever the Lord tells you to do with it to help out with those ministries. This is going to happen before it. And And I believe we're going to see it sooner than later.
So like I said, people, this is not for everybody, right? But I'm a very spiritual person, and that resonates with me. That rain, that abundance of rain. Now, I have not had a dream of rain or had any spiritual hearing of sound of rain, but it resonates with my spirit. I agree with it because of the research I've done on XRP. He's coming from a completely other side, a spiritual side, listening to the spirit. What is God saying? Does God have something? Is God speaking through his prophet? Is God speaking through his servant? I'll let you be the judge. You judge on that. All I know is I got my coins in order. I got my investment locked in. What if, remember, when he prophesied about Trump, it happened 3 months later, exactly 3 months later, right? He prophesied that on March 14th, and it ended up happening on July 14th, I believe, or was it the 13th? It was right around 3 months. Well, when he spoke about XRP was on July 1st. 3 months from that is October 1st, which would be right around the time, the latest we could expect the lawsuit to drag on, right? Judge Torres most likely will be coming out with her decision in September, hopefully. Hopefully we have until the end. Ladies and gentlemen, he said he saw it happen instantly, overnight. He mentioned something about overnight. I don't know what's going to happen. All I'm saying is you better have your coins in order. We could be moments away, just looking at a spiritual perspective. We could be moments away of an overnight price appreciation on XRP. I'm not saying what price it goes to in this video, but to answer the question, has God spoken? Well, I believe he has. That's my opinion. You believe what you want to believe. But I have my backpacks and I'm still stuffing as much as I can until the day comes where I can no longer afford it because the price has gone up to the numbers that I always knew it would.